Well, journal. Did we expect it to go off without a hitch? Because it sure as hell didn't. On the outside looking in. It's really what I should expect these days, but you know how it is. I am me, and me tends to get I into more shit than I think we can handle, but we do handle it. And we did get the payout. It may have cost me another scar or two to ruin whatever was left of me, but it's no matter. As I was saying, I met with the man. Julian was his name. Things were fine. He was typical, rough and tough cowboy type, the kind that is either a total sweetheart or a total shit stain. He turned out to be the latter. You can see why I never went for those men back home. Everything was fine for the first hour. We chatted. He jumped right in on talking about all the ladies he's had. His notches. I would just smile and not say anything. I guess making him feel comfortable enough to continue, like I was inviting him to go into details. Yes, please do make it even harder for me to not take your eyes. Make it harder to reason on why I shouldn't take away any ability you have to allow your gaze to fall on another woman. To force such an unpleasant and uncomfortable conversation on another one of my kind, let alone whatever else you seem to force on them. I should start a different collection of jars. I don't think I'd find one small enough to fit him. And that journal is where my mind wandered as he droned on and on and on and on and on, and holy fuck, have you ever realized how boring men like this make everything sound? How fake their stories sound, even if they're real. It's no wonder I was more partial to a very different type of businessman than these. At least they could tell a good story, even if it were lies. He broke my wandering eye by asking me if I was listening. Though I've always had a knack for twisting the truth to tell a total lie. That is a talent I never seemed to be able to pin down. Why did he care anyways? It's not like he thinks I'm actually here to listen to him. We both know what I wanted him to think I was here for. I told him in my sweetest voice that I was sorry. I mentioned having a terrible headache from the wine and wanting to leave. He told me I could once I finished what we came here for. Here we go again. I've laid with monsters before, invited them to come up from under the bed and sleep beside me, hopeful that if I just gave what I could give, it wouldn't want any more. Hila told me I could call it at any point, but I wasn't scared. It's funny, isn't it? To think that I should have only called it if I felt scared. But in my mind, I faced down bigger men than him, slept with worse men than him, begged more disgusting men than him to shoot me down where I stand. And yet, here I sit. Maybe there's something in me that was unsatiated. The part that I'm trying to outrun, a cat, hoping for something to come along to sharpen my own claws on, to sink my own teeth into. I left the disgust long enough to build, deciding he was exactly the one I wanted to fill my void of chaos with. So without thought of how I would remedy the situation, I entered that room with him. No plan in sight, only an ending that the voice in my head whispered, enticing me into a vulnerable position only to see if I can still get myself out. The room was dim. Fine enough. The saloon was lively. That's either a plus or a detriment to my safety. I took in every exit, every possibility in a matter of seconds. I paid too much attention to the structural surroundings and not enough to my company. It was almost instant that he was grabbing at me. I didn't yell. I felt numb. I struggled with my arms, but all I could think of is what Ela said. The feeling of a man asserting his ability to hold you down. The need they feel to prove that they can keep you down if they want to. Julian was able to wrestle me to the bed. The way I fell, I was able to get my feet up and under his stomach, pushing him backwards just enough. And in that split second, I removed a knife that I had stowed under my corset. It was on the blunter side, but a knife's going to do what a knife is meant to with enough force. Julian didn't notice it in my hands as he flung himself back on top of me. I wrapped my legs around him, securing my prey as I began digging the knife into his back. He yelled as he struggled, trying to roll away from me. I went with his movements, swaying, then rolling us over, him secured under me this time. Taking him by his hair, I tilted his head back. I remember the look he gave me as I stared at him through narrowed eyes. My own head tilted, thinking about what in his life brought him to the unfortunate circumstance of having to cross my path. Blood everywhere. The thought of using a pillow meant nothing now. So just end it. I kept telling myself, just end it. Julian tried to reason with me. He begged me not to. He had a family, people expecting him, relying on him. Business. So did I. But did that stop him? Julian begged me not to. So I did.